Prepare for a fusion of knowledge and exhilaration where education and excitement collide.
Taking you on an adventure that expands your mind and speaks to your spirit.
I'm Master Nick.
I'm Lady Dee.
We are the Dom Life.
This podcast contains sexually explicit topics and adult content.
It is intended for listeners 18 and older.
The opinions expressed in this podcast are ours alone, based on our personal thoughts, feelings, and experiences.
We understand that others may have different opinions and experiences, and we respect that. We would love to hear from you. You can reach out to us at www.thedomlife.com. I have everything recording now.
All right.
So I am going to start off with my light impact flogger here on Lady D. What are you starting off with there?
I also generally start with pretty much our lightest flogger, the softest leather floggers that we have. Always like to have two. I don't know, it's just kind of been my thing. I rarely ever use one unless it's one of the bigger ones.
You do really good with two. So just keep in mind for our listeners home, when you change implements, just kind of give a brief description of what you got, you know, whether it's a flogger or a paddle or anything like it, kind of paint them a little bit of a picture of what you're using.
Okay.
All right, so we are going to get ready.
We're both going?
Yeah, go ahead. So while Dante is using his floggers over there, while I'm using mine, it is really good thing for me. I really enjoy watching Dante use his floggers because of the fact he can use both hands and use both floggers simultaneously in a pattern that one day I hope to be able to master myself. Instead, for me, instead of using two floggers, I just take mine and just.
You know, it's very clear our styles are different.
Totally different.
Our swinging
styles.
methods.
Yes.
And, yeah.
But like I said, I really enjoy sitting back and watching you do your scene with your floggers. All right, I'm going to move up a little higher on Lady D's back with my flogger now. Her ass cheeks starting to get pretty red. Dante still on Zorra's ass, which is getting pretty red.
I'm just matching you hit for hit right now.
Oh. I'm taking
good sound.
I'm taking my time with it.
Yeah, that's not a match.
Oh, you want a competition, do you?
No.
Well, this is really where we start because it just really warms her up.
Yes.
And it's not too hard on her at all. I mean, they're so light, I could probably swing them full strength and it wouldn't phase her too much. She wouldn't call it yellow.
She would not, right.
She wouldn't call it yellow. I've been hitting a little to the side on over here.
I'll stop for a second and take the time to watch Sir Dante with the double flogging. That was a good one. And Now I'll start back in. Yeah, I'll move it back towards her back just a little bit. Give her a few hits up there.
So I kind of approach most of the impact scenes one or two ways. One, which at the beginning I did a lot of, which was I didn't stay in a rhythm. I did a lot more what I consider random. To her, it's random. But to me, it's intentional randomness to keep her guessing and throw her off.
Right.
And there's pros and cons of that. It does keep them guessing, and they're not sure where the next hit's going to be or how hard it's going to be. And then the contrast to that is you could do where you stay in a rhythm. And if they know that, they kind of sense that, it's easier for her to relax into it.
Right.
Because it's not like, oh, when's he going to throw that next really hard hit or whatnot. And when I stay in a rhythm, even without saying it, she usually knows when the heavy ones are coming. So what implement are you using over there now?
So we are both sitting here kind of rubbing our subs with our hands, and then just occasionally a smack on the ass with a bare hand.
Like,
Yep, when they least expect it. So with any scene, it doesn't all have to be impact. You can throw in sensual with the impact.
yeah. And I actually have, it's actually an old pair, not that old, but an old pair of leather motorcycle gloves
Yes.
that I've repurposed and that now stay with our kinky stuff. But they're effective, very effective at spanking.
Yes. It don't take much to hurt your freaking hand when spanking. I've actually
Right.
busted blood vessels in my hands, and they've turned black and blue before.
So I've put them on now, and she loves the feel of leather across her skin. So now I can have that sensual touch with the fingertips and palms with leather.
So currently I've got,
My nipple.
I'm using 2 fingers to just kind of squeeze, pinch the nipple.
Yes.
Then a smack on the ass.
So how was that? That was 2 fingers per nipple, kind of a gentle squeeze. You hear him moan a little, kind of be a little sweet, and then
Smack on the ass. So I'm going to move up to a heavy, thuddy flogger now while Sir Dante plays with the leather gloves.
So good.
watch where you swing that thing. Hey now.
No, I wasn't trying. I was trying to see where I could swing from where you was at. I wasn't going to hit you with it. No. Yeah, we need to expand our dungeon here a little bit, and because I'm having to operate around a few obstacles here.
Yeah.
Recording equipment, sound equipment.
I can move in.
Yeah, I just gotta.
Whew.
Yeah, like you said, with a barehanded spanking, you can really do some damage to your hand.
Yes.
It gets wore out a lot easier than with gloves on. I mean, I could probably sit here and do this for a half hour and my hands would be fine.
Whereas barehanded, about 4 or 5 good hits is all I've got.
Yeah.
So I'm taking my heavy, thuddy flogger and just flipping it up, letting it hit her in the back, let it run down her back. Real light.
It feels so good.
That's
A
real hard.
massage for my back.
And then one good hard hit on the ass with the flogger.
So would you consider her warmed up by now?
Her butt is showing she is. I don't know that mentally she's not. Of course, in the middle of a podcast,
Right.
it's going to be hard for her to get in the mindset of subspace. So physically, I'm thinking she would be good and warmed up. Mentally right now, no, she is nowhere near.
Right. And the times we play the hardest, it's usually just her and I together.
Right.
Like we like to put on a show at the club, or we were at, an event last weekend and we played publicly in front of whoever wanted to watch. And while I went pretty hard, it wasn't the same as if it's just her and I.
Everything is different when you're at home in your own setting with just you two by yourself. So something new that we really haven't talked about on the podcast, and we will one day, is electrostimulation. So I have an electric wand here that I'm going to get turned on, and we'll use it on Lady D. You'll get to hear a little bit of that. But oh my, what has Dante just pulled out?
I have the noisemaker of our collection. This is I guess rattan cane, or really it's just strips of rattan cheaply wrapped together. It's actually a really cheap toy.
So you've got several pieces of rattan, which is just round wood particles, I'm assuming. is what it is?
Essentially, yes.
And there's what, about 7 or 8 different sticks of that?
I mean, if you call them full sticks, there's
Okay.
there's about 8 of them.
And they're all taped together, okay.
Yeah. A lot of them are already kind of frayed and broken.
Right?
They're not very strong, but
Let's hear what they sound like.
it's a very fun sound.
It is a very fun sound.
And this isn't heavy at all.
Another really fun sound is the electric wand.
Something good. Ooh, right between the legs, huh?
Yeah, well, he was being too quiet. I had to get some kind of reaction out of you.
So with her attached to metal chains
It
and
isn't
metal
bothering
pieces on the,
So the fact that she's holding on to it, and I'm using a light intensity, it's not really transferring that much through her body to the metal chains.
right?
Now, as we move up in intensity here, well, it might do it, and we may have to
Which
alter our
means all I
plans.
can do is I can let go like this, and it's not, because I think when we were attached together, it zapped us
It
by
zapped
our
us through
leg.
the
Right, through the
spreader bar
spreader
that we
bar.
had on, yeah.
We both like that one. Now those last couple, oh my. They're having a ball over there.
So that's the light intensity electrode that she loves.
Woo! That's when you catch them off guard a little bit and they're not expecting it.
Exactly.
Nice little yelp from her. I did hit her a couple times on the back of the thigh. That's just an area you have to be a lot more careful about. It's a lot more sensitive.
Yes.
While you can receive hits there or give hits there. I actually find, depending on who it is, they can, obviously everyone's different, but she can take a decent hit on her, on the back of her thighs.
Right.
But you still do want to be careful. I think you've even mentioned like the back of the knees. You have to avoid those.
Yes.
Even on the sides, you can't hit those hard. You can kind of go on the upper butt, back of the shoulders, maybe even the breast. But beyond that, you got to be really careful.
You still got to have self-control and know how hard to hit in those certain areas. You can use a flogger anywhere on a body, but just even the back of the knee, but you're just barely laying the flogger on it just to get more of a sensation. When it moves to impact, those are the areas you really want to watch.
Yeah, that's a good point. You can do sensation on those areas.
So I have moved to my favorite party attraction, and it is actually it's the twin brother of the one I broke on Zorra's ass here a while back.
That sounds mean.
It is. It sounds worse than it is.
Yeah.
Its bite is not as bad as its bark. But it still tingles just a little bit, so they say.
No, I've
A little bit.
I've upgraded from the rattan cane or rattan sticks to bamboo sticks.
Ooh.
So similar setup, but there's only 5 bamboo sticks, but these are a lot more stout, a lot thicker.
Those are much more sturdier.
Yep. It doesn't have the bend and the give that the last one does, or last one did. And these suck a lot more.
Suck for the submissive?
Yeah,
yes, they're a lot herdier.
And the sound is similar, but you can tell it's a deeper.
Right. Yeah, that is much deeper.
A lot stiffer.
So my favorite party trick with this
1 second.
Lowe's yardstick. Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Oof. Whew.
What I like doing with this Lowe's yardstick is just going right up between her legs, almost to her clit, and then just going as fast as I can and bouncing between each thigh.
It's so funny to watch. It's so funny.
I love it. All right, I'm going to move to a little.
You made me think of something, because what I thought you were going to do to her was please her. And that's something, like when we first started, I didn't mix in a lot of pleasure with the impact scene.
Right.
But it's actually really effective, especially if you're not going for, let's just really push those impact boundaries. If you're kind of keeping it a little more sensual and you're mixing impact with pleasure, then you can give them an orgasm while they're up here, or you can tell sometimes they're just soaking wet already just from the touching and a little bit of impact.
All right, a little bit more intensity for the wand.
We'll give you a couple of these and we'll move on. Quiet now, we're playing. I said quiet.
They almost sounded alike right there.
Oh, that felt so good.
I may have to go a little more intensity. So now, this is a brand new toy that you are pulling out now, correct?
Yes.
My new toy.
We just got this 5 days ago. And this is a fluffy flogger. So there's 5 falls.
It's a fluffinator.
Fluffinator, I'm sorry.
It's a fluffinator.
Fluffinator from
Firebird leather.
Firebird Leather. They're on Instagram. She has a website.
Right.
But she had a special sale, special collection sale a couple weeks ago, and this we just kind of fell in love with this flogger. I think we had mentioned
Beautiful flogger.
we call her my fox. So this one is actually fox colored. It's the black and orange fur falls with the white tips. It's actually
like a
beautiful.
Fox tail is what it looks like.
This one's a little different from our other fur floggers. These are very fluffy, big falls. That's why you only need 5 of them. But they are weighted at the end. And that really adds a nice thud to it.
Yes, it does. And one thing that they did mention with this flogger compared to other furry ones that they have is these falls tend to stick together, so you're getting all 5 hitting at one time versus 5 or 6 of them being spread out.
Yeah, so I'm actually able to do some consistent hits,
Right.
and softer hits with these, and they're relatively grouped together on the hits. And once you get used to it, you can kind of twist your wrists and get them to stay together more,
Right.
unlike the other one we have.
So Dante did mention orgasms a while ago, so
No. No. Ooh.
I know what that noise is.
God. God. Master, can I come? Can I come?
count backwards from 5.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shit! You're fucking fair. God bless. Did you say God bless? You better. I need a towel closer.
Did you make a mess all over that floor?
It's laminate in a warp.
We will get that cleaned up here in a minute.
You're so
So I'm just continuing with this furry flogger, the Fluffinator. It has a pretty heavy thud, and you can feel the weight in your hand, and she just loves this feeling.
There's more.
Ooh.
What does the fox say?
Apparently that. I love this one. So just like I did with the last 2, the Raton and the Bamboo, we're gonna take the other version of a fluffy flogger we have, but I'll pass it to Master Nick because he just picked up a very interesting toy.
Well, the last time we done episode 4, Impact, Lady D did say maybe we should incorporate this dragon tail a little bit. So
I must have been drunk.
You definitely said that, I remember.
Oh my God. Stay calm and remember your safe words.
Red, 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 red.
Oh.
So I'm just
Gently.
gently using it on her right now. I don't want her to red out. What have you got over there? Your other fluffy one?
Yep, this is the
Not the
first
friendly
fluffy.
one.
This is not the friendly one. So this one has 9 falls on it. It's a little bit longer. It's actually quite a bit heavier. And each one of these falls has a thin metal chain running down the entire length.
Right.
There's not nearly as much fur on this, so this is not really that thuddy. This is just straight painful. Like, I don't even know if there's a word to describe it.
Well, it's the company it comes from. It's Exquisite Pain.
Yep. Exquisite Pain Toys made this one. This one I can't really, you can't really go slow on because it's so heavy
Right.
And the falls just kind of go wherever they want.
Exactly.
But you also got to be careful going hard because it really does hurt that much.
Right.
I don't think I've ever hit her at more than 30% of my strength.
Not with this one.
Not with this one.
Because of the chain and the weight that's in it. Gotcha.
This is by far the meanest flogger we have.
But it's so pretty.
So
It
from
is so
earlier,
Soft.
from our talk about how you can take an impact toy and not make impact with it, this is one that I use. So it's got the rubber tip on the end of it. I've got my cane. It's got a rubber tip. And one thing that I've learned from another Dom is just find somewhere right in that butt cheek and just apply a little bit of pressure.
Yeah.
Or as Dante's doing right now, he's using his finger.
Well, I do have. Oh, I do have an end on this one.
No.
Let me try that out. See, I guess I just gotta find the right spot,
Got
huh?
to know right where to.
Better than I do.
Yeah.
She's
Sure. If you find the spot on like first try, I'm just gonna.
You all have to remember, I have a big ass. She takes it.
Yeah. So your spot is different than Lady D's.
You're gonna have to find it.
It makes my muscle give out.
It'd be interesting to know like the science behind it, the anatomy behind what's
Correct.
going on.
Yes, of what's going on with applying pressure there. Absolutely.
All right, we're gonna try to get 2 hits out of this this weighted flogger. So
Watch, sir.
Yes.
if you kind of grab all the falls and twist them up, that allows you to strike them in
Kinda
one
keep all of them
specific area.
together.
Yep. Otherwise,
Possible.
I mean, we've bruised her with this before, just kind of tossing it around, where you'll
Right.
see 4, 5, 6 different spots
Right.
spread out. But this, she's not gonna like this. I mean, you see that I didn't even swing that hard.
That
and
was a
she
very,
hates it.
very light swing. But
So
the
Compared
weight,
to a flogger swing.
the weight of all of that.
I'm gonna give her one more, and because this is so heavy and we're not like in a full scene, I'm gonna tell her, and she can hear me, so I'm poking her on her left cheek now, so she knows it's coming. And I might just pause for a couple seconds and make her think about it. And it doesn't even seem
Right.
like much.
But it is.
Yes.
Whew.
So what have you got now?
This is, I mean, a fairly standard paddle. It has a nice, red and black design on it, but in the head of the paddle, there's 3 holes. And those holes just allow for more airflow, so you can actually get faster swings, just
Correct.
better aerodynamics
Right.
on the paddle. This one's solid. There's no give in this one. It's solid wood
Yeah,
with a nice
that's-
coating on it.
That's
Yeah.
a good thick one there.
And you do have to be careful with something like this because she can take a few hits, but even her, it wouldn't take long to get a yellow out of her right now. Especially down on the thighs.
Right. So while Dante is using his paddle, I've stolen their Fluffinator, their Foxy flogger.
God, I love it.
I'm using it on Lady D. Looks like I'm going to be having to purchase one of these soon.
An amazing out.
I haven't even got to the good ones yet.
I don't think I've ever heard Lady D make those noises
Right?
before.
I want to hear from her when you're done with that. And what Master Nick is doing with it now is kind of mixing in sensation because, I mean, it is a very soft fur.
Very soft and
You know,
furry.
so you could rub it kind of all over them.
Yep.
Drape it down their back or,
I'm just basically
legs.
right now placing it at the top of her shoulder blades and just letting the falls, let gravity take over and let it fall down her back.
And I'm still over here kind of warming up with this paddle. She knows she's going to get a few heavy ones, but
She don't know when.
a lot of times the heavy ones won't be in the same spot unless I'm really trying to be mean, but more often than not, like if I'm giving her 3, sometimes I'll tell her, hey, you got 3 heavy ones coming.
Right.
And I'll tap her. I'm like, hey, you'll have one here. I'm not speaking in full sentences to her, but I'm like, here.
Right.
And she knows where they're going to be.
Right.
And then I'll go in that same order with the heavy one. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go here and third one in the middle.
So there
You're welcome.
one.
Thank you, sir.
Move into number 2.
Ooh. I think this is a good time to bring up that there's times when you miss swing or maybe go lighter or harder than expected, and it's going to happen. I mean,
Yep. Or you don't hit as flat as you want
Yep.
to. You kind of hit on one side or another. And it does. It does happen. But in an instance like this, you told her 3. You
Right.
give her the 3 spots. So the
Yep.
second one wasn't as powerful as you wanted, but it still does
still
count
counts. Yeah,
as
I'm
the
not
second
going to.
one.
Yeah. So we like to call it, she got lucky.
She got lucky on
She
that
got
one.
lucky. I won't make the same
Well,
mistake twice in a row.
Will lightning strike twice? That's what I want to know. No, it did not.
Oh. That hurt. Oh, that hurt.
I had to make up for the second one. I couldn't let the audience down, right?
Definitely made up for the second one.
Actually, when you get a second.
Oh yes, looky there.
Yeah.
Now I got to say the hole on the paddle is a lot smaller than the imprint of the hole you just left on her ass.
Well, yeah. I'm pretty sure this just happened just now.
Yes, just now.
But I mean, at the speed you're going, and plus, I mean, once you
Right.
it's not a straight on hit, right?
Right.
And audience can't see it, but the 3 holes, each one has like a metal ring in it, and hitting her like that just pop that metal ring out just ever so slightly.
Yep. That is amazing.
But that's what that's from for sure.
That is amazing.
So I'm just gonna pop that back in there,
Start calling me the toy breaker.
right? I have to get some super glue and just redo these.
So I see you have a new one in your collection, a new paddle.
Yep, and actually, I would put that on par with the other one that's next to it. So the one you mentioned is a new Lego paddle. This was actually a bonus gift with the Fluffinator that we just got. And it's just a 3D printed paddle. It's really sturdy, but it has Lego pieces printed on.
Yep.
And, there's 8 or 10 of them in just a random pattern.
We all know what it feels like stepping on Legos. It hurts like hell.
Yeah.
And now somebody's figured out a way of putting them on a paddle.
Yeah.
And something we didn't anticipate with this one, we used it fairly lightly, just checking it out. I think that just a few days ago, this actually broke skin.
Wow.
Without even striking that hard.
Wow. And then your other one you have here.
Now that one is designed to draw blood or to break skin. So this is a vampire paddle, and it's fairly small, just black leather, nothing fancy except on one side there's these spikes, and there's 3 rows of them essentially. And they're not sharp to the touch. You can feel it.
Right. They're kind of dull feeling running your finger across it.
Yeah.
But at it.
Goodness, or else they'd be poking right on through.
Right. But at speed though, they
Yes.
will leave. They will break
little
skin.
dots. Yes.
Yep. And she's not. When we play with it, she's not bleeding like down her leg. At most, you might get a tiny drop on a couple of them. The way we've used it. So it's not like she's gushing blood or anything, but it definitely breaks the skin enough to leave marks. And then we like to add a little alcohol wipe right after, and that really,
You do.
yes,
Ooh,
yes,
yeah.
and that can really bump up that sensation. So. I don't want to make you bleed tonight. But we will kind of mess around with it. Okay, so you've now, turned Lady D around. She's face to face
Got
with
Lady
you.
D facing me, and I have our very light intensity flogger, and I'm just very gently flipping it up on her chest and her
It's giving me
breast,
chills. Like I've got goosebumps.
down on the front of her thighs, real lightly, hardly no impact at all. More just a sensation play.
It's like literally giving me goosebumps.
This is something we normally don't get to do much because normally you are chained to a cross. So playing on your front side like this is something kind of new for us. But again, I'm holding the flogger handle in one hand. I'm holding the end of the falls with my other hand, and I'm just barely flipping it out onto her skin.
My breasts and my tummy,
Yep.
thighs.
Of course, you can always come up in between the legs.
That's a way to get them to jump. You
It is a way to
flog
get 'em
them
to
right between the legs. Oh, yeah.
Every time.
Oh, that stupid nipple. That
So-
nipple's never gonna heal.
I'm going to tell you right now, if anybody's listening, if you were doing a drinking game, the word would be nipple tonight.
I still have this vampire paddle, but I've decided not to use it to draw blood or make dots like we
Right.
were kind of talking about.
Right.
But just with every implement I think we've picked up, there's multiple ways to use it. So this is actually a really good sensation tool.
Sensation.
I
Yes.
bet
Yeah,
you'd
just
like
rubbing
that.
this,
It'd be
yeah.
my nails times 5,000.
Yep.
It feels good.
I love feeling nails run up and down fingernails, I should say, run up and down my back. Not when I say nails, I'm not 16 penny nail, none of that shit. But yes, what you're using there,
Just a different way to use it.
I would probably really enjoy feeling that on my
Yes.
back.
Yeah, this one's giving me goosebumps right now.
All right, so we are going to end our dungeon play here. Hope you enjoyed this little episode. Give us some feedback. We may set up more dungeon play dates. Coming up on our next episode of the Dom Life podcast,
What are we doing? What are we doing?
we are going to discuss the Dom Life website. We're going to discuss adult games, and we're going to discuss our merchandise.
Ooh, but the best part of it is when we talk about Master Nick's grandpa underwear.
We don't need to discuss that anymore.
No, but we're going to.
Stay tuned. Find out more about it.
Please follow, like, and share our podcast.
Make sure to visit thedomlife.com, where you can find pictures and other details about the Dom Life podcast. And through the Contact Us button, you can ask questions or provide recommendations for future episodes.
We want to explore your kink too.
Be sure to check out upcoming events to see where our adventures are taking us and our photo gallery to where we've been.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope you had fun listening and learning with us.
Till next time, keep calm and remember your safe word.
Red, red, red.